Battle Through the Heavens, Chapter 158. Xiao Yan refines rare pills to absorb the primal purple flame. The metallic scent of drying blood clings to his skin, a sharp reminder of the fire that nearly hollowed him out. He steadies his shaking hands against the cold weight of the cauldron, grounding his focus as the cave air turns heavy. Each herb demands a precision his aching body lacks, yet he forces his pulse to flatten into a thin, vibrating line. Xiao Yan sat cross-legged in the cave. He pulled the medicinal cauldron from his storage ring and set it on the ground with a dull thud. He lined up the ingredients for the Meridian Protecting Pill and the Ice Heart Pill beside him. He checked them one by one. His breath slowed as he finished the count. Yao Lao drifted out from the ring. The old man hovered like a ghost, eventually settling on a large boulder. He crossed his arms and watched with a thin smile. Xiao Yan closed his eyes. He ran through the mental script Yao Lao had given him. He visualized the recipes, the exact measurements, and the temperatures required. When he opened his eyes, he rubbed his hands together. He pressed his palms against the fire inlet of the cauldron. Inside his body, his mind reached for the whirlpool of energy at his core. He drew the purple flame out from the center. The purple fire raced through his meridians, shielded by his Dou Qi. It surged through his palms and into the cauldron. A muffled boom echoed as the fire ignited inside the bronze belly of the pot. Xiao Yan watched the violet flames dance through the glass viewport. The metal began to glow. As the temperature climbed, he looked at Yao Lao and shared a quick grin. Then his face went hard. He projected his spiritual power into the cauldron, seizing the wild flames and forcing them into a steady, controlled heat.
It is time to start,
Yao Lao said. Xiao Yan reached for a stalk of evergreen flower. The plant was vibrant green, its leaves heavy with the gentle energy needed to shield human veins. He paused for a heartbeat, then tossed the flower into the fire. The purple flame roared. Within seconds, the green leaves turned brittle and yellow. Xiao Yan used his spiritual power to dampen the heat. He kept the flame at a low, consistent simmer. Green liquid began to bead on the surface of the stalk. The liquid pooled and dripped away as the plant shriveled. Once the final drop was extracted, the stalk disintegrated into black ash.
Not bad. Your spiritual power is sharp. Most rank 2 alchemists cannot match your control.
Xiao Yan flicked his wrist. The green liquid flew out of the cauldron and into a jade vial. He repeated the process with 3 more liquids and a pale green powder made from a spirit fruit. The work was brutal. Xiao Yan was a novice at this level of precision. He burned through 12 sets of rare herbs before he got the mixture right. If the valley had not been so rich with ingredients, he would have run out of materials and ended in failure. Yao Lao stayed silent. He watched as Xiao Yan refined the last of the base materials. After the final powder was ready, Xiao Yan exhaled a long, shaky breath. He popped a Qi recovery pill into his mouth and waited for his Dou Qi to replenish. Yao Lao shook his head.
This is why you want your flame mantra to evolve so badly,
he thought.
This level of refining has already drained you. If you were making a rank 3 or 4 pill, you would fail from exhaustion halfway through.
Xiao Yan opened his eyes. He saw the look on his master's face and offered a bitter smile. He reached into his ring and pulled out a snow-white magical beast core. It was a rank 2 ice attribute core, and it radiated a freezing mist. He flicked the core into the cauldron. His hands slammed back onto the fire inlets. he released the mental leash on the purple flame. The fire surged, filling every inch of the cauldron. The ice core fought back. It released a thick frost that hissed against the violet fire. White steam billowed out of the cauldron and filled the cave. Yao Lao waved a sleeve, sending a gust of wind to clear the air. Xiao ignored the world around him. He poured his Dou Qi into the cauldron. The ice core held its ground, releasing wave after wave of freezing energy. Xiao swallowed another recovery pill. Slowly, the ice core's defense began to crack. The purple flame let out a low roar. It swarmed the core, baking it until the hard shell shattered. The fragments turned to dust, leaving behind a glob of pure, snow-white energy. Xiao Yan let out a short laugh of triumph. He refined the energy for a few more minutes, then bottled it. Now came the final step, pill formation. He tossed all the prepared liquids and powders into the fire. The violet flames wrapped around the mixture. Under the intense heat, the different colors began to merge. Liquid and powder fused into a lumpy, ugly mass. It had no shine. It looked like a jagged purple and green rock. Xiao Yan relaxed. This was the 90% mark. The hardest part was over. He poured the white energy from the beast core into the cauldron. The white liquid coated the rough pill. Xiao Yan suppressed the fire, keeping it at a precise temperature. He spent 30 minutes finishing the pill. The energy soaked into the center. Suddenly, Xiao Yan compressed the purple fire into a single intense point. The temperature spiked. The violet light flashed, and then died back. Inside the cauldron lay a round, pearl-like pill. It glowed with a soft white light. Xiao Yan pulled it out and sealed it in a vial.
The Meridian Protecting Pill is finished,
Xiao Yan said. His voice was raspy.
Well done.
Yao Lao said.
Now, rest. You still have to make the Ice Heart pill.
Xiao Yan spent another 2 hours refining. The second pill was easier. His movements were fluid, like water flowing over stone. Even Yao Lao looked satisfied. By the time he held both vials, Xiao Yan's face was pale with fatigue, but his eyes were bright. These 2 pills were the keys to his evolution.
The sun is setting. During the day, the sun makes the purple flame more volatile. Now is the best time to consume it. Can you keep going?
I can.
He rubbed his temples.
My mind is tired, but I can last the night.
How many recovery pills do you have left?
18.
That should be enough. If your Dou Qi fails while the flame is inside you, you will die. Do not take risks.
Xiao Yan nodded. He knew his life was on the line. He sat cross-legged and settled his mind. Xiao Yan said. A moment later, his eyes snapped open. He focused inward. At the pit of his stomach, his Dou Qi whirlpool began to spin at high speed. He threw the purple flame out of the center. The fire seemed confused, swirling outside the whirlpool. Xiao Yan unleashed a flood of golden Dou Qi. It surrounded the purple flame, trapping it. Under his mental command, he dragged the fire into the pathways of the flame mantra. The moment the fire touched his meridians, Xiao Yan's body buckled. Cold sweat drenched his clothes. He ground his teeth together so hard his jaw ached. Even with the Dou Qi shield, the heat was agonizing.
Eat the Meridian Protecting Pill.
Yao Lao barked. Xiao Yan tilted his head back and swallowed the white pill. It turned into a cool stream that coated his insides. A thin white film covered his meridians. The searing pain faded to a dull, manageable throb. He swallowed another recovery pill to keep his Dou Qi from failing. Then he felt a new danger. The purple flame carried a chaotic, primal intent. It began to claw at his mind, trying to drive him into a rage. He swallowed the ice heart pill. A freezing sensation washed over his brain. The chaos vanished, replaced by a cold, sharp clarity. He drove the purple flame through the final circuit of the flame mantra. He watched as his golden Dou Qi began to swallow the purple fire. The two energies merged. His Dou Qi turned a pale violet, flickering with tiny sparks of flame. The violet energy completed the cycle and poured back into his core. The whirlpool at the pit of his stomach began to change color. It spun faster and faster, then suddenly went still. Xiaoyan's eyes flew open. Purple light flared from his pupils like physical blades, before fading. He looked at Yao Lao and grinned like a fool.
Did it work?
It worked!
Yao Lao said. He let out a breath he seemed to have been holding for a long time.
Your Dou Qi is several times stronger than it was this morning.
Xiaoyan went to laugh, but his face suddenly changed. He felt the energy of the world rushing toward him. It hammered into his body, seeking his core.
Master? What is happening?
Yao Lao moved in a blur. He pressed a hand to Xiaoyan's chest. A wide smile broke across the old man's face.
Good things come in pairs, it seems. Congratulations. You have broken through. You are no longer a Dou Qi. You are a Dou Qi.